So, welcome everyone to our Wellness Talk at Home. Today, Lydia and I will be presenting to you Stay on Track, Keep Motivated with Online Learning. So, before we get started, we're just going to do a quick statement of acknowledgement of the traditional land. I wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates for thousands of years. It has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land.
So for today's agenda, staying on track, we are going to look at stressors and eustress, techniques to keep you on track during study sessions and lecture, importance of a study space, giving yourself a break, healthy living, and this includes sleep and nutrition, and resources, and support available with the Health and Wellness Center. So stressors. Um, Staying at home and studying in an online learning environment can be really difficult and stressful at a time like this. It can make you feel stuck and discouraged when there's just too much to handle. Some of the most common ones include having difficulty staying on task, especially when you're in a loud room or have your phone next to you, or you're sitting on your bed, or just any distractions at all. This may cause someone to procrastinate, especially because it feels easier to do so at home in a comfort zone. Even with live class lectures, it can still be hard to feel connected to others without that in person interaction and feeling more lonely. So, today we will be discussing some coping strategies for these stressors. So, stay tuned for that. So, eustress. Though we have talked about some difficult stressors, not all of them are negative. University life can be stressful. So, try thinking about final exams and assignments as positive challenges rather than a negative threat. This can be motivating and provide you with a strong sense of accomplishment. Perspective, attitude, and mindfulness can get you in the zone, or what our counselors call flow, where you are feeling enough stress to feel productive and motivated to keep going. For example, knowing there's an upcoming assignment to which you may feel stressful about at first, but that positive stress is what motivates you to start early, to plan ahead, and avoid that negative panic distress. You can give yourself a reward when you complete an assignment. Our health and wellness ambassadors, so including me and Naziha, we can share some stories on what we do to de stress. So, for example, I love to bake. And so when I get stressed out, I like to bake cookies.
Yeah, for me, it's like drawing. Like whenever I feel really stressed out or I have a lot going on, I just take a moment to myself and like draw or like for a little while, and that definitely helps me keep on track afterwards.
Awesome. Um, so, some reflection questions that we want you to think about. What are some ways that you stay motivated during stressful times in the semester? So I know that how I stay motivated is by giving myself breaks, um, and we will talk about this later as well, but giving myself breaks after I've done a good chunk of work, either to watch a short episode or to go do something that I want to do or have a treat, so that I can keep going and continue that stamina when I need to. And then another question that we want you to consider is, what do you do to keep yourself organized? So this could be something like building a schedule so that you stay on task, or even keeping your desk clean and organized. That's also really helpful to keep you focused. And we'll talk about that more later as well.
Okay, so now we're going to discuss some techniques to keep you on track during your study sessions. So, some of the things that our team has discussed that has helped us is first of all, the Pomodoro technique, which basically takes a large chunk of time and divides it between work periods and breaks. So, I find it personally very useful because there are different ways you could chunk off the time, and depending on what works for you, you can use that to make your study sessions the most effective and helpful for you. There is also the Cold Turkey app, which basically is a software that blocks all distracting apps such as social media, like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and so on. Another technique to keep you on track during your lectures would be to use the video speed controller. So this is basically a desktop extension which helps move your lectures on faster. And the biggest one of all is just scheduling. So making designated times to watch each pre-recorded lecture and any other lectures or assignments as well to keep you on track throughout the semester.
So, our study space is really important, and the way that we organize it matters a lot. So, some tips that we have for you is avoid studying on your bed because this can make you really sleepy. Selecting a designated spot just for studying purposes. So, this might be your desk or a specific area that you have to do all your lectures and readings and homework assignments. Working in a well lit environment is also very crucial so that you can stay alert and awake while doing your work. Try and listen to instrumentals while studying. So, this is a great one because if you can't focus when you're listening to regular music with words in it, instrumentals provide a nice background for you to listen to while you're working. And turning off your phone while studying unless required. So, this is another major one so that you don't have notifications popping up and you always feel focused while you're working.
So another reflection question we have is that what do you do during your study break? For example, for me, whenever I'm in between study sessions, I'd like to maybe take a quick walk just to clear my mind. Lydia, do you have any as well? Any?
Yeah, I like to play the piano, so I just like to play a little bit of that and then get back to work after.
Okay, so far we have spoken about study tips. However, we also want to recognize that even though studying is important, we should also consider taking breaks. There are many things people do during breaks. For example, as I said before, I like to take a quick walk away from my study space. There are also some other tips that we have on the slide, such as try timing your breaks, avoid scrolling through social media, and most importantly, if you have the chance to enjoy like a nutritious snack and remain hydrated throughout the whole time. So, taking a break in between your study sessions can help you concentrate and be motivated. Another important factor to consider when taking breaks is that they should have a definitive end. I think we've all been in the situation where we planned a 5 minute break, but somehow we ended up being caught in scrolling through social media and other things, and somehow 3 hours passed by in a blink of an eye. This is why it is important to choose activities that will end quickly but still energize you. For example, watching a short 20-minute episode of a show that you like on Netflix. It is also a great idea to enjoy some sort of nutritious snack and staying hydrated during your study breaks. Sometimes we get so caught up in the lectures and stress that we neglect eating. However, we should remember that healthy food is a good way to stay energized and motivated. A delicious snack can be a great reward for completing your study period. In this image, you can see the recommended portions of each food group that you should consume in a day according to the Canada's Food Guide. As you can see, you should aim to consume more vegetables and fruits, but protein and whole grains are just as important. It is also recommended that if you prefer a beverage with your snack or meal, you should aim to drink water. There isn't a hard limit on how much water you should drink, but it is something that is easy to forget, which can cause dehydration. Signs of dehydration could be headaches, blurry vision, and dizziness. So, a quick reflection question: what are some healthy snacks you would recommend while studying? SLEEP is the acronym used for sleep hygiene. Consider your brain as a computer. There are times where you need to completely shut down in order to take some time to make updates, process information, and refile. It is important to get good quality sleep so that you can feel rested and energized. According to the acronym, the S in this case stands for setting a schedule for when you are to sleep or wake up. If you are more of a nap person like me, the golden rule is to take a nap between 20 to 30 minutes. However, this does vary depending on your lifestyle. The L stands for limiting caffeine or alcohol intake before going to bed. The E stands for exercising, which is recommended to be done earlier in the day. But say you are busy, you should aim to do some sort of activity that helps you unwind 2 hours before bed. The second E stands for establishing a bedtime routine. And lastly, the P for practice, which means practicing meditation prior to bedtime. We have another reflection question is basically what are some ways that you get ready for bed? Like it could be taking a shower before bed or just writing down in your journal about something that you have planned for tomorrow or the next day, like that. And so on.
So, how do we keep going? So, support helps from either your friends, your peers, your family, but also at the Health and Wellness Center. So, doing online study sessions with friends helps keep you motivated. Having study buddies really helps you focus and stay on track so you know that you're going to do X amount of work in a certain amount of time and keep each other accounted for. And then we also have group sessions at the Health and Wellness Center. Some of them are drop in group sessions online, and some of them are ones that you need to sign up for in advance. And you can check these out at uft.me/group therapy. So, some resources to keep on track from the Health and Wellness Center. So, we do have Health and Wellness Center counselors, and you can call the number on the screen or email us at healthservices@utsc.utoronto.ca to make a same-day appointment. And then, as mentioned earlier, we do have group therapy, which consists of 6 to 12 individuals and 1 to 2 trained professionals. So, other resources to keep on track. If you want to speak with someone and it's not during health and wellness hours, the MySSP app is the software that you can use to talk with a counselor for free at any time of the day or the week. Remember that counselors are there to discuss any of your needs and want to listen and help with anything that they can. Finally, the AA and CC have weekly online study sessions for students to join, where they can do readings and work assignments together to foster a positive and productive working environment. Thank you everyone so much for listening to today's Wellness Talk. We hope that you enjoyed it and stay tuned for other Wellness Talks. On behalf of myself and Naziha, we would like to thank you all for coming.